is it not? This is such a window. I might have to just open new. I might just have to go trading view. It's for name. Alright, let's just do the stream. Sandy, what's going on, man? How you doing? I'm about to set up the whole image thing. OBS is giving me a hard time with it. Oh my god, I'm so tired, bro. Ugh. How you been, though? What's going on? It's been a while since I streamed. Like, weeks, I think. Live streaming. It's alright. It's fine. Today is amazing. The uptrend, we caught it early, and then if you guys are still riding that, fantastic, man. Especially that first alert, you guys should be good right now. Let me see. Get that. Can you guys hear me on the mic, or do I have like my audio set up wrong as well? Let me see. I think it should be good. It's reacting as if it's capturing what I'm saying. Let me see here. We got the stream. We're gonna move that, and we're gonna move that. Let me see. I can hear you perfect. All right. Okay. We're all set. Finally. Let's see. I can hear you. Fantastic. All right. Perfect. So how you guys been? What you guys doing? Are you guys all trading? I don't know if Sanify, I don't know if you trade the alert. I don't know if you're in Trade Pass. I know you're a mod, but I don't know if you're in Trade Pass. Let's see. Seihin says, sounds good. Amazing. Alright. Well, I mean, I kind of like started streaming a little bit late, but if you guys are writing calls, just keep on writing them. I would set up a stop loss right here. If the price falls to that level between like around like 502.50, I would definitely start thinking about closing. But right now I'm just gonna be holding what I have. I'm not thinking about closing my calls. This thing is looking really healthy. It's trading. You're seeing a lot of consistency in the price action, and that's what I want to see on days like today. I'm not looking for a big breakout. I'm not looking for like a rally. I'm just looking for that consistent price action, you know. So as long as we remain in this channel, I'm just not gonna be closing. Ideally, just based on basics, you know, levels of support and resistance, I'm looking at 505, which I think I mentioned earlier today on the Discord it being a potential price target for me today. Even though like moving $2 is a lot. I know we've seen a lot of crazy price action these past 2 weeks, but still, on when we're talking about averages, moving $2 like that, especially since we've already moved $3 from that peak bottom, it's quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. As far as switching back to puts, honestly, if we start closing, let me see. If we were to close right here, right, because there's this level is a little bit contingent. I would expect support to come in, but if we get a breakdown right here and we kind of like reject that initially and go back up, but it starts rejecting it again at that level, and we test that support again at around 502.40. At that point, that's when I would consider switching to puts. And again, you don't have to close all your calls. You can just buy puts and kind of like hedge your original position on calls through those puts if you don't want to close them out too early, just in case. So again, if we start breaking around this level here, this little uptrend that we have, and we get rejected at first, right? Bulls want to push it up, and we get a rejection again on the top, and they drive that price action back down again. We might even see a formation of a descending triangle right here. If we get that, 100% I will be opening puts on that. So let's see what it does. But like I said, I'm still bullish on this thing. I'm not thinking about closing at the moment. I would consider closing about like 95% of my position if we start closing at around 502.50. And at that point, again, I'm going to be thinking about switching back. We saw a lot of this was my biggest fear today, that we were going to see a little bit of a channel again, as we saw 2 days ago. But this time with a lower spread, which obviously kind of like limits the amount of potential for swinging back and forth, making a little bit of money between those levels. So we'll see what happens. Again, bulls are in control right now, so we need to get a breakout here. As you guys can see, we had a little bit of rejection right here again, and then here again, and I don't know what's happening here. So about, I would say 4 times we've been rejected at this level right here, and that is concerning, considering we are about to test that uptrend line. So bulls are gonna have to really show up through a couple big candles right here and kind of get us a breakout. So we'll see. Nvidia calls, let me see. Yeah, Nvidia's been performing well, and the other one that I was playing earlier today with Tesla puts, but so far since then it's recovered. I forgot to alert to this one. Oh man, an alert right here. That would have been perfect. But I've just been focused on SPY. Fuck my life, shit. That shit would have paid really nice. God damn. When is my original? Let me see here. When do I have calls for Tesla? At 152? Yeah, 152. So I'm gonna be buying calls right now. Let me see if we hold this level, I'm gonna switch to buying calls right now. I can see a little bit of rejection right here. We might get a little spread all the way down to 150, 160. So I'm not gonna open a big position again. We are kind of buying at peak. So be careful with that, especially with SPY kind of weakening. That's gonna drive bearish action on this thing as well. So keep mind on that. I'll probably buy some more here and average out here. And if we start failing to break out from the middle, I'll probably just sell whatever I have and just kind of let it go. Or I might even switch to puts down here. But never mind. That shit's paying off already. Tesla, man, Tesla's been taking a fucking dump, bro. Today it was, look at that, bro. Look at that. Yesterday wasn't even a good day, and since then it's fallen $10. That shit is wild. TQQQ is performing really well. Calls at 54 are printing. Let me see. I'm not gonna sell it. I'm just gonna put a stop loss on it. I think it's gonna revert though. I feel like the right move on this thing would be to set up a stop loss right here, or actually take a little bit of profit at the moment and just be more flexible with my stop loss. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take profits right here. I'm gonna close about half my port, 60%. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be flexible with my stop loss. I'm going to move it a little bit down because I already captured most of the gains up here. And then whatever happens is just going to happen. I'm just going to keep on focusing on SPY for the most part. Weston, good morning. How you doing, man? Cowboy, GameStop will moon. Yeah. GameStop, the problem with GameStop is we have no enlightened path towards growth in sales. And what I mean by that is we have no idea how the company's gonna be able to like make money, and that is concerning, to be honest. And that is really concerning, at least to me. Like, I want to be bullish like crazy on that, but that's like the main issue with GameStop. I have like no idea where it could, how they're gonna make money. I mean, yeah, they were profitable for 2023, but they caught a lot of, they've been cutting a lot of jobs, and now they're at the point where like it's like, of course you're gonna be cutting a lot of jobs because like there's not enough clients coming in, and that's like the biggest issue right now. And like with consoles now seemingly supposed to be all digital for next gen, like GameStop's business is kind of like fucked, their business model. So like they have to pivot to something new. And I haven't heard a lot from their CEO, so that's like another thing. GameStop should hire me. I'll quadruple their sales. I believe you, Brian. You're very charismatic, man. You're a social guy, so I do believe you would actually have an impact on that. The problem with GameStop is you would actually not get any traffic in the stores because like nobody's buying fucking physical copies anymore. I feel like the whole thing with physical copies is kind of like redundant too, because like even if you buy a physical copy of a video game, when you put the disc on a tray, it's going to force you to download the game because you're not buying an actual game. The game is not saved on the disc anymore. They're saved on a cloud. The disc just gives you like access to it to be able to download it. So like for the people that say that I love physical media, I'm never going to let go. Yeah, like what are you going to do with it with your disc? Like, even if the internet goes away, or even if Microsoft or Sony breaks the game as a whole, they say, like, you're not allowed to play this game ever again for whatever reason, right? You're not going to be able to play the game even with a physical disc, because the game is not saved on the actual physical format. So it's one of those things where, like, you're kind of like, you're kind of like, not really doing anything. But I do feel bad for like, because I do like, I would prefer physical over digital 100%. But it's just not the world we live in anymore. Oh. Let me see. Give me a second, boys. Let me see. Really cool to see those trends play out. From your experience, what are the odds of playing out successfully once they break out in channels like that? It all depends. You this isn't something that you can apply the same outlook or even strategy all the time. Depends on volume for the most part and finding those sweet spots for liquidity. If you know where the liquidity is and where you can get more volume, it works. Which is what we did. Alright. So yeah, this thing is looking, like I said, we got rejected 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we had that little breakout, so like this 4. But like it didn't amount to anything. It did not hold that level above. So that still counts a little bit as a failure right here. So we're waiting 4 times if we failed. 1, 2, 3. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 10 minutes. So the next 10 minutes are gonna determine if we're gonna be coming down. If you guys feel like taking a risk on this thing, I would say 503.15. Very risky. 503.15. Consider scalping puts, even if you have calls to hedge. Yeah, 503.15. I would say if it starts looking like it's gonna come down, and it's looking like it's gonna do that actually. We have this thing has about 10 minutes before it actually like starts, in my opinion, before like the market begins getting bearish on it. It doesn't mean that we're gonna like just come all the way down again. I've seen it where it kind of does those things where like it'll just dip down and then it'll just get back on top. It all depends where it really finds that resting support. Let me look at the liquidity levels here. Let me see. Let me look at the new volume detail. Let me see. Yeah, it could be gonna cool off. But I mean, it also makes sense. You have to like acknowledge the fact that this thing has been running since like after the first 15 minutes. This thing has been running non-stop for like about $4. So it needs to retrace at a certain point. It needs to like cool off a little bit. If this thing fails to break out, yeah, I'm 100% gonna scalp puts on this thing. And if it just falls down, then that scalp is gonna turn into like an actual trade, like a bigger trade, where I'm gonna make a little bit more money than I anticipate. But so far, I am not in puts yet. Nope. I'm just kind of like holding and waiting and seeing what it's gonna do. If it fails, like get that breakout, which again, we need a strong candle like this one right here. Those breakout candles, that's what we need right now. This candle ideally should close at this level right here at 503.55 or higher. Kind of like get that confidence back into the market that bulls are still in charge of this thing, and kind of like make bears flaky. Let me see. Let's see what happens. So far we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is still pending. We shall see what it does, but like so far it's looking like it's definitely weakening. Let's clean out this chart a little bit. was that? Oof, yeah. Remember what I told you guys? We might get a little bit of a descending triangle earlier today, like around here. If this thing wouldn't hold, look at where we're at right now. Look at what we have right here. A little perfect descending triangle. This thing's building pressure on the downside. Guys, be ready to like ride puts again to whatever you want. This is gonna be a scalp unless it holds. You know, you can make a look. Just make sure you guys exit at profit. Let's see what happens. I'm still not in it yet, but I'm about to go in. Let me see. I want to see it. I want to see these candles kind of like close a little bit lower. I want to see them like hanging out down here, right below this little line here. That's where I'm probably gonna go in. If not, great. Again, I'm still holding calls. Like I said, I still haven't closed anything. My stop loss is down here. Let me just write that down because I know I'm gonna get a billion DMs about that. Stop loss level right here, 502.50. It's my stop loss level. Not all of them, but like the majority of my calls are still open, by the way. Yes, I am still bullish. My goal right now is 505. Doesn't mean we're gonna reach it, but ideally that's where we head. We have 10 minutes, or like at least we had 10 minutes. We still have like about 3 or 4 for this thing to like really pump. Like I said, this breakout right here needs to hold out above the descending triangle that we had. Let's see what happens. Wow. A lot of weakness on the top side. Interesting. What is this candle? Let's see. Give me a second, boys. I got a ton of DMs I gotta address. Let me see. What did you say? What is your goal, bro? I just told you 505. 505 is my goal. Julie, what's going on, girl? How you been? 505 is my goal, guys. Like I said, just look at the stream, look at the chart. It's just not, is it like something you guys can't see? I have it right here on the top. Goal. Do be mindful of your positions if you have open calls, because like theta is going to be if we continue remaining in the same level, theta alone is going to start erasing a lot of the value on those contracts. So make sure you guys are keep in mind of that. If you guys need to close because you guys are unwilling to, like, you know, risk a certain amount of money that you already made, then go ahead and close. If that is your what would you call that, your oh my god, your tolerance. It all depends on your tolerance level. I'm still holding mine. I am of the mindset that I think this thing can actually move up significantly more. Even though it might not do it, it does have the potential, and I want to see if I can catch that. If not, I'm still gonna close green. It's just not gonna be as green as it could be, but I'm willing to take that chance. I'm not gonna be sweating off that, so, because I'll feel worse if actually we blow up. And if we actually blow up and then I miss out on that, then I'll be kicking myself in the ass all day, and I don't want to do that. So we'll see. Oh, is this a channel we're kind of building right here on the top, where like we just kind of like go back and forth? Alright. Let's see. Are you still bullish on SPY? Yes, I am still bullish on SPY. Like I said, I'm not closing unless we dip all the way down to like 502.50. I'm still holding. I'm gonna just put that on the options because I feel like a lot of people just like have my screen open, but like they're not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm still bullish on SPY so long as we remain above 502.50. Be mindful of theta, K, and your current profits. There we go. Are you guys on the On the stream, are you guys open on SPY calls at the moment, or did you guys close? Do you guys have open positions on SPY at the moment? For calls, that is, by the way. Or are you guys just like kind of like just watching it and kind of like staying away from it? You guys are not really invested in it at the moment. Let me see. I've got a few 502s still open. Smart. Yeah, I got 505s and I got 503s myself. Smart, man. And a couple 506s as well, which are up 13% now. I'm on Cosman's copping all the way up. Okay. Smart. Yep. Smart, man. Close a few on this candle. Alright. We'll see if this candle might retrace completely. The momentum kind of like slowed down a little bit. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Gotta lock in profits before I walk away to get launched and it drops. Yeah. Yeah, man. Sometimes I've had it where like I have open positions and I'm about to sell, and as I'm about to click the sell button, the price action just goes the opposite way completely, and I end up closing at a loss. And I'm like, what the fuck? Or at least not, assuming that I'm sitting in profits, it'll be like not the amount of profit that I wanted it to get out of. So I definitely feel that. But I mean, everyone watching the stream, that you guys should like pay attention to that. That is how you should trade. A lot of people actually will have an open trade and then leave it unattended to do other things, like whether it's eating lunch, going to work, doing things with a wife, doing whatever it is that you have to do on your day-to-day basis, right? Like they'll have open trades unattended, and when they come back, sometimes they're sitting at huge losses, and it's like, dude, like, what were you doing? You need to, like, if you have an open day trade, you need to be watching that consistently. You kind of just like go off on a day and do other things, and kind of like come back later and see where it's at, and then act all surprised because you're sitting at huge losses. You can't do that. No, not with day trades. That was a good one. Just watching. I'm mostly done. Cut most of that down. Move on NQ. Smart, man. Yeah, we had put alerts on that, on SPY at least, and yeah, I made quite a bit of money. The momentum bot alerted to like it going down towards like 825, but that was too early. It did not alert here, but I did. I don't know if you guys trade. I mean, Weston, you obviously do, but are you in Trade Pass? If you are, the new bot that we're testing out, it had an alert set out to be at 5074.20 on ES, which would be right at this level right here. It said if we start, and the way these alerts, they're not open for anyone on Trade Pass, by the way, for the general public. So you guys are just gonna have to give me like 2 to 3 weeks for me to like finish testing it out. But the way these work, instead of the momentum alerts where you have to be like there at all times, these ones are supposed to work sort of similar to how my own option alerts work, where like the price needs to reach a certain target for you to enter. So this one alerted at 50, 74, 20, right? And again, I always tell people it's the same concept as trading options. Just look at the price action and make sure that it holds that level, right? If it holds that level, if it's looking like it's going to break out, then go ahead and take the trade, take the risk. And that is exactly what I personally did with this alert at 50.74. And so far, this thing is up 20. It's $5. That's MES, but again, you guys can trade ES if you want. It's $5 a point times 20 points. That's $100 per contract. If you traded ES on that, you would actually be up $1,000 on this trade alone. So yeah, what's the focus on this stream? Day trading. We're day trading SPY, we're day trading Tesla, Nvidia, we're talking about ES, which is futures, and Q, NASDAQ. So Mr. Bones, yep, the focus on the stream is just strictly day trading at the moment. Day trading different securities and me kind of breaking down what the new bot alerts are going to be like. But yeah, no, the ES, the new trendsetter bot, that's the way it works, and it's pretty freaking solid, not gonna lie. The way it alerts. I prefer that type of alert, to be honest. If it holds that level, we're set. Have you moved on from GME updates? Not at all. It's just I don't really have anything to say about GameStop because like the company itself has not said anything. They had their last earnings report, which was obviously a lot of people on the Super Sun community thought it was good, but personally I thought it was bad because like their sales went down again, which is a trend that is increasing. So like, what am I gonna update on? Because the company hit the board members don't say anything about it. What am I don't have anything to talk about, you know? We're just kind of waiting on them to say anything. Right now, I'm waiting on them to like talk about their investments, right? Because Ryan Cohen now Ryan has the ability to like actually invest $1 billion cash that they have. Kind of like turning the company from a video game retailer into a holding company, sort of like Berkshire. So what are we gonna do though? What is he gonna do in regards to like that $1 billion that he has sitting on cash, not doing anything? Where is he gonna put it? He hasn't talked about that. So given that he hasn't talked about that, what am I? I have no idea what they're gonna do. If he put that money, like I said, on something like that pays high dividends, like an ETF, like the JP Morgan one, and they get 10% back, that's about $100 million that they get cash. With that amount of money, they can actually start taking some real risks as a company to like grow, you know? With $100 million liquid, 100%. So if they can actually like do that, then that would be something interesting. That's something I've talked about. But again, at the moment, I have like nothing to talk about. I want them to say something in regards to like what they want to do, but they're being really hush about it. So I have no idea what their plans are, what their perspective is on the market, on their own business. We're sitting in the dark at the moment. There will be a significant price promotion soon. The only real play I see for GameStop is changing its name and becoming a Steam type of digital store. Steam. Steam to have a digital competitor? Maybe. I don't know if they're gonna be successful doing that though, because there's no exclusive inherent value that they would have over Steam or over Epic. Epic has the ability to give people the access to the Unreal Engine, which is a big deal in the industry. And Steam kind of like monopolized PC gaming. So like what is GameStop's leverage on that? How are they going to get people to use GameStop, right? That's kind of like where the problems start to begin. So like in my opinion, they should just transition into a holding company, get $100 million cash, invest all that money into like 10% yielding ETFs that pay out 10%, cash dividends, and kind of like go from there. That amount of money coming in liquid, they can do a lot of things. They can start taking a lot of risks again. Find a way to cut costs and make their digital games cheaper. Maybe. In my opinion, they should just transition out and just becoming a holding company. 100 million a year is an amazing amount of income that they can put to work immediately. And I wouldn't even ask for a dividend. Yeah, just keep using that money to like stabilize your business and grow it exponentially, doing something new, and just keep on going from there. Or even start acquiring other companies. You know what I mean? Shit, buy AMC. Start buying like smaller companies, like fulfillment. See if you can actually find a way to like launch a bigger and stronger digital storefront. Be more competitive against Amazon. Get ready for puts. 503.15. If we get a strong candle, or if we consolidate around this area with candles weakening over time, I am heading in on puts. I have the thing ready right here. And who the fuck is texting me right now? Okay, in that case, what would they hold? Anything specific or games related? No, I'm talking about becoming a holding company. A company that holds other assets. So like GameStop has about $1 billion that they can use to like invest. You put that in something like JetQ, which yields 10% cash dividends. That goes into other that 10% turns into 100 million, right? Cash income coming in to the company, which they can then use to like become more competitive. Here we go. God damn, I should have raised this thing. Fuck, that was really stupid of me. I should have raised it down here, but I was like talking. That's the thing about streaming. I get like so focused if I'm talking to someone that I completely forget what I'm actually supposed to be doing. But it's all good though. Don't take it personal. It's on me. But I should have raised that thing to like 503.40 because we had a lot of this thing became resistance right here and supports. Like short term, this thing is going to be very weak, but it's fine. It's whatever. Nah, man, you're good. It's not on you. It's on me. I got passionate about this thing. I love talking about this. But yeah, no, to your point, $100 million cash flowing in yearly, that would put the company in a serious good spot. Because again, you can use 100 million to do a whole bunch of things. You can actually start experimenting, you know what I mean? You can experiment, take chances with with your investments and kind of like see where it goes. And like I said, more competitive against Amazon. Start selling, expanding your inventory. Buy other, use that money to like reinvest again. AMC or like not AMC. I'm sorry, Apple. Into like actual like long term, like blue chips. Like save assets you can hold. See, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna drop or are we gonna bounce? If we bounce, we're gonna see a little bit of rejection at 503.72 right here. And that's in the event that we actually bounce. If we actually bounce all the way over here, that's going to be very bullish in my opinion. But this thing looks very weak at the moment. Very weak. If this is all that bulls can muster, I'll actually be surprised. This thing might actually start heading all the way down to like 502.50, which means I'm going to raise this to be 502.70. Here we go. This is looking very weak. Let's see if we can actually get a breakdown. Bulls have got to push. Come on, man. I don't want to close this thing. I want 505. Just give me 505. I really want to close at that level. Some of my options would actually go in the money, my 505s. That would actually put them up in value like big time. If not, I just have to settle for pennies. Again, like yesterday. We had that crazy pullback yesterday, like came out of nowhere and absolutely fucked my shit up. Like I was like up big time. And then that thing just came out, that red candle, and then boom, all my gains lost. I still closed at profit, but it was like 2 pennies above my average price in contracts. It was like nothing. It wasn't worth shit. What are your thoughts on General Electric and General Dynamics? General Dynamics, I am long. General Electric, I do not touch. Not that I'm, bearish on it. I'm just not. That is not. They don't have the outlook that I'm looking for. Right now, Rotor, are you in my Discord by any chance? Because you should join my Discord if you're talking about investments. Because I have a lot of opinions that I share with people there. But so far right now, I'm looking at TSM. I mean, I'm not looking at TSM. I'm actively buying TSM, to be honest. Like I'm putting like a lot of money into that company, like disgusting amounts of money. Like if China invades Taiwan, my portfolio is gonna take a huge hit. Like I am fucked, but I'm taking that risk. I don't see how you are still green. I feel like if I had bought 0 DTE calls at 502, I would have hit the break even by now. A lot of the my 503s are not, when like those closed out. It's just the amount. Remember, like when you buy, let's say you buy, what's your name? Baldo? Baldo. Yes, I know you. You should put the same profile pic so I know who you are. So let's say I have 100 contracts, right? And they go up from like 20 to 40, right? They double in value, 20 to 40. And I close out at 25, 25, what do you call it? The 25-cent mark on SPY, right? So like I'll close out, let's say 25% of that. I have 75, let's say that I close at 25, what's whatever. It starts going down, it starts sitting sideways. And I say, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of profit here. I think it's like, it's kind of peaked. I'll take out, let's say 50, right? So now my position is only 25, since I already sold 75 of my OG position on that. 25 and then 50. I have 25 remaining contracts. I already derived the majority of the value on that. Let's say it starts retracing, or like right now it's like doing nothing. The ones that are open, because I bought them so early, they're still like, most of their value is still up. If I had bought around here, then yeah, that would actually make sense, because theta would have eaten the value out of that. But like, since I bought them super early on the day, the value on those are still up, even though it's lost a lot of the value. So when you do this, the majority of the gains of the majority of the profits that you made initially, you're still up green on the day, so you can actually take a lot of risk and be more flexible with what you have left. Because let's say that for every penny that you got, let's say it's $10 on that, right? Let me see here. Let me just pull out the calculator, because I am not that smart. Say it's $10. Let's say my average selling on that was 1,000. It's gonna be 2,000. Yeah, 2,000. Let's say I sold everything and I captured about 115. Yeah, that was better. Make it simple. $15,000 green. My original investment, I still have about, let's say I had at one point at peak I had 5,000, but now it's sitting at half of that, so it's gonna be 2,500. Not 2,500. It's gonna be 250. My bad. I keep thinking in thousands. It's about 250 on that, just sitting sideways. Even if it goes to zero, I am still up on that, because most of the value of my shares was already sold. I'll screenshot. Just give me a second. I'll screenshot my position. Just give me one moment, because I'm playing puts on this thing right now. What is TSM? What is TSM? You don't know what TSM is, bro? Oh my god, bro. You need to join my Discord right now. Let me just send you an invite. I'm gonna put it right there in the chat. Just click the link and just come in and join. And go to the investing channel and just look through it. Baldo says, I am picking up what you're saying, what you're putting down. So like, you understand what I mean then? If I open up here and I sell a little bit right here, right? 25. I'll sell, 1/3 of my position. Let's just say 1/4 in this case, and make it simple. Out of 100 contracts, I sold 25. So I have, just give me a second, because I know this thing is, I have a lot of bullshit right here on my screen. But like, you got what I was saying, right? Most of the value of those contracts are already maximized. So what I have left, it's very minuscule in a way, in the sense that it doesn't matter if it actually goes to zero or even if it goes negative, because my net is going to be green. I smell what you're stepping in. I haven't heard anyone ever say that. For some reason, I just thought of someone stepping on shit. So let's say I were to open a position right here, right? Let's use like these 100 contracts. I buy 100 contracts right here. I then sell, let's say at the 25-cent mark, 25 contracts. Green, I always like to capture a little bit of profit. It holds that level and just continues moving up, right? I don't sell the remaining contracts that I have. I just kind of like let it sit. And now I'm just adjusting the stop loss. This is what I'm doing. My trade becomes doing this pretty much on Webull. It's just adjusting the stop loss. This is my job after it kind of like pans out. So we reached the peak, and like I said, I'm going to be taking a little bit of profit. We reached the target, not the goal, like the ideal goal, even though I know that one's going to be very hard to like reach. But we reached a certain point where I say, okay, like we reached the goal that we wanted it to. At the moment, I'm going to be taking a little bit of profit right here, which means I'm going to be closing even more contracts. At this point, I'll close between 25 to 50% if it's a normal day. If it's one of those days where like the chart is like crazy good, I will just close like 5 or 10, to be honest. I'm not going to go crazy selling. But on a day like today where the price action, like I said, is not very volatile, it's just kind of like steady, I know at a certain point this thing is going to break down, and that's totally fine. That is expected. So on a day like today, I'm just going to play it. On a day like today, I'm going to play it very safe. I sell 50 once we reach the goal, and we just kind of like sit on it and just wait for it to do its thing, blah blah blah. So now I only have 25 contracts out of what I had originally. So what happens next? I already derived most of the value that I was going to get out of this play. At this point, what I have left is still pretty solid in terms of value. It is losing value over time, like you said, theta. But again, I have stop losses on that. And when I put the stop loss here, when I say this is the price where I'm going to sell, that's mostly like the price where I'm going to be closing my thing at. Looking at the value, looking at both the chart and the value of those contracts. If me saying that I would close if the price falls down to like 502.75, but the price on the contracts would be red, I would not do that, because that would make no sense. If anything, if I'm going to play it as risky as possible, I'm just going to sell it. I'm looking at the contract on Webull, the contract price, and I'm just going to be selling it at a penny or two above my average, which is obviously, you know, we have the average of the price that I paid for those contracts and the actual average of the price of this contract itself at a certain given time of the day. So I would actually just set the stop loss right above a penny or two above my average contract size, and then just kind of like wait it out. If it reaches this level right here and the average on those contracts, the price of those contracts has not reached what the penny or two above the mark where I set it at, then I'm just going to be selling that immediately. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to wait for it to like reach all the way down there. If it reaches that level by itself, then I don't have to do anything, because the stop loss is just going to do its own thing. In this case, because I bought in so early, that did not happen. This price reached this level here faster than the decay and the value of those contracts reached the stop loss. So that's when I pretty much closed everything out. Does that make sense? So again, like if my average contract size, my average contract price is, let's say, 40 or 60. I'll put a stop loss at 42, 43, 41, depending on how flexible I want to be. So I have a stop loss right here at that price. When we start going up, let's say at this certain time and point when we reach down here, the price on that, and I'll pull up screenshots later. I'm just trying to explain this right here on the chart. It's going to be a lot easier. Let's say the average price on that was, at that given time and point, it was, let's say, 47, right? It was 47. If we reach here, so it becomes a race about which price does it reach first. Does it reach this level right here first, which is where it's going to be at 47s, or if it kept if it kept up at this level but it wasn't going up, but because of theta decay it actually reached 42 before it reached 47. At that point I'm just going to be closing out at 42. Okay, it makes sense. Perfect. So again, the reason why I do this is to be flexible with my current position. I do not want to exit out too early once I'm that green, you know what I mean? Especially when my contracts go over 100%. I do not want to exit out too early. I'll just, give it as much flexibility as possible if I'm feeling confident about the trade, and then just let it do its thing. Like I said, most of the value proposition on that I already derived closing throughout the run up, so I'm not that concerned when it actually breaks down a little bit like that. So like I said, this is why I always tell you guys on the Discord, if you have a stop loss, make sure you guys set it up a penny or two above your average. If you're willing to risk that is my own personal tolerance. You guys do not have to abide by that. You guys can actually keep it higher than that so that you can actually catch more of a gain if it pulls back. But me, I'm going to give it as much flexibility as possible. But again, I'll set up a target on my own chart because I got to play the chart as well. If I'm looking at the chart and I'm seeing that it's pulling back right on my bullish position and it's hitting those like levels that are dangerous, then 100% I'm going to be closing out earlier than it reaching the stop loss. I'm going to be closing out at 47. This is what I was saying earlier, actually. Like yesterday, what happened was we had a big candle breakout where the stock went like this and it was doing like that. And I went in right here. And then I had a stop loss like a penny above that. And I thought it was going to keep on going up. Had I seen it like do this, I would have moved my stop loss a little bit higher. Or just exit out, scale out while it was going down if it was reaching those levels. But what happened was I only had the stop loss right there. And instead of SPY kind of like going down over time in a slower manner, it just did this. So my stop loss immediately activated. I did catch a little bit of profit when I sold at the 25 mark. But the remaining contracts that I had, which was the vast majority of them, by the way, they were at profit when they sold out, but like almost breaking even. I barely made money on that when my thing was up significantly. I forgot the percentage amount. So again, it's one of those things where like you're kind of like playing, when you're playing a position where like you are already like in high profits, because the spread between your entry and the current price is significant. At that point, setting up a stop loss a penny above your average entry price is going to save you all the time. But at that point, when you start seeing a reversal, it's a matter of like playing out, which one do you think is going to reach out first? Are you going to be able to watch and spot weakness on the price action so you can capitalize on that and actually close the majority of your contracts, if not all of them, faster than it dropping down to like your average stop loss? Because at that point, you would actually make more money doing that, which is, the idea of that. So it's one of those things where like you have to be flexible and kind of like play to the odds of the market. Yeah, you have the stop loss, but it doesn't mean that you have to exit. In this example, at 42, when you can actually exit out at 47 if you actually start seeing that the pattern on the chart is looking like it's going to reverse, because you can anticipate that move and actually get more money. Does that make sense to you guys? I see that there's like 18 people watching. I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. I might have to like write it up on Discord. Just let me know in the chat here in the comments if this makes sense to you. Greg says the new AI voice is pretty realistic. Yeah. Ultra says 502.50. Let's go. Yeah, that put that I put at 503.15 is paying. This is why I always tell you guys, like, being flexible with the stock market once you actually get confirmation on price direction, because you'll have an alert and people will go in, but they'll sell everything out at 25 cents, and I'll be like, don't do that. Just wait. Just sell a couple. Just sell like 1/3, and then just wait and see, because sometimes you go in and it never like comes back. And it just keeps on going and going and going and going and going. This thing moved $4 up from peak bottom to like peak top. Let me see, what was the price on that? Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Yep, it was right here actually. I had it right. 501.20 was when we went in. I bought 503s at that, and then when I added on the top, I also I bought more, but I bought 505s and 506s. Like out of the money. Those are the ones that like, the farther out the money you get, but like, right? Let's say if you buy far out the money, like $2 or $3, but the price action actually starts going crazy up, like the volatility increases a lot, the value on those contracts is gonna blow up, like big time. I don't know if you guys saw me on a couple days ago. I was actually really psyched about this. This is from Webull. On PC, on a web browser. I forgot what it was. I think it was puts or calls. I think it was calls. I'm not too sure though. But I bought like $2 out the money, right? And like legitimately like 5 minutes later, the price action like blew up. We got one of those like crazy volatility sessions where like the price action just kind of like exploded out of nowhere. And the thing moved like $1 under a minute. And this was the value in the contracts blew up 400% in that time frame in 5 minutes. Because again, it was out the money and the volatility exploded. This case today, the volatility in those 505s and 506s did not pan out, obviously, because we were moving steady, but I was kind of like risky on that. So the value of those contracts did go up, but it also started going down significantly once we started dipping right here. Once we started going back up, it went green again. But again, the farther out those are, the more likely that that theta is gonna like start eating out like crazy. So those are the ones that I kind of like close out first, and then the 503s, again, those are in the money. Those are gonna be a little bit more secure while we're up here. But since I bought in so early, those are pretty much safe. So By the time I exited out, I was barely at a profit on those, but it was higher than the penny that I had them at, that I had to stop loss at. So what I'm gonna be doing from now on with you guys is I'm actually gonna start letting you guys know during the streams what contract I am buying and at what specific price. And then I'm just gonna be walking you through like how those things are gonna play out, how my trade plays out, and I'm just gonna keep you updated. That way you'll know what's happening in real time, and it'll make more sense to you than me kind of like retroactively explaining it to you in a hypothetical scenario. The puts are paying. Thanks for explaining everything. Yeah, man. Let's see. Yeah, it makes sense. If you don't mind me asking, how many tick greens are you? So, winning contracts right now. Well, I closed the calls that I had. Damn, I was joking about the price going down as soon as I walked away, but okay. Baldo, when I'm looking at option contracts, at the price of the option contracts, I typically just look at it as like face value, as a dollar amount, because Webull just displays your actual value of the contracts, your average price, and like what the current price of those options are. When I look at ticks, I only do it for like futures only, really, because you have to. With futures, you can actually precisely calculate how much money you can actually make or lose, because there's no Greeks on it. Because those contracts are going to be bought out regardless of anything. That's the whole point of futures. If you hold out enough, like your position's gonna sell. You're gonna be forced into like actually buying the asset. So for like futures, I use ticks, right? For like ES, I believe the tick is 12.5 because the whole point is $50. For NQ, I know the whole point is $20. So each one is $5. So that's the ones I use, points and ticks for. But like for options, even though I think for options, I think it's like $10 a tick for SPY at least. I'm not too sure. But for options, I don't really look at ticks like that. I don't see it. I don't look at option contracts like that. I just kind of like just look at it as face value. How much are they selling it to me for? And then just kind of like go look at the delta, look at the gamma, and then just going on from that. I don't really look at the ticks at it from a tick perspective as I do for futures. I just look at it as face value. Seeing you were right. Yeah, this thing did actually sell off a little bit. Like about $1, I would say. Let me see. I think it was about $1. It wasn't too bad though. That's not too bad considering this thing moved up $4. Hey Baldo, are you still here? Do you use 0-day options all day or switch to the next day options in the afternoon? Personally, 95% of the time I use 0-day options. Sometimes I will use next day options though, and that has to do with theta, decay, and volatility. I explained, Tom, just go to my guide, and for like options like trading guide on my Discord, and I explain everything right there for you. But yeah, to your point, 95%, 95% of the time I'm using 0-day. When I use next day ones, it's under specific circumstances, which I explain on the guide itself. So let's make sure to read through that because I explain everything in great detail in there. Let me see here. All right, you're here. Perfect. Just give me one moment. I'm about to take a screenshot of this. Just give me one moment. These are for the April 18th SPY option contracts option chart. So this is displaying the value of the option contracts that I bought. So at around, what was it? Like, I believe it was like 10:09 a.m. So around this price right here. This is when I went in. Around here, somewhere around here, when we broke that 501.20. So this was my entry right here. As you can see right here on the option, on the picture right here, the price of those options was like about 70 something. Let me see here. I just want to make sure I get the price. 70, 80. Let's put it, average it out at 80 cents. Just use the arrow. This one's a lot easier. At peak, these contracts on this candle right here, these contracts are worth $195. So like almost nearing 3 times as much as I paid for them. We breached the stop loss price, which was right here with this candle right here. And what time was that? 11:40. At 11:40, and that doesn't even display it. Let me just make sure. At 11:40, this was the value on. I'm just gonna use this picture. It displays it right there. Look at the price at 11:40 when it reached the stop loss. Not the stop loss. I'm sorry. When it reached that level where I sold. It's 124. I am still in profits at that point. I did miss out on this amount of money, right? Selling anywhere around here. I was very flexible, maybe too much, but it was a risk I was willing to take. But as you can see here, I was still deep in profit still. Can I move the screenshot up a bit? Yeah, I got you. I forgot on the stream thing it doesn't necessarily show up. So let me know if that works. Let me look at my OBS. See if this works a little bit better. Does it make sense now, Baldo? You see why me buying right here kind of like set me up for success on the 503s? Had it gone down, I still would have come out profitable because I had stop losses, right? Had we gotten one of those like crazy, unpredictable candles that kind of like breaks everything, breaks the chart, I'm still fine. However, that did not happen. I just had a level where I saw that like if it reached that level, then the outcome becomes even likelier for it to like actually start breaking down even more. So it kind of like allows me to kind of like not have to risk losing out on that potential profit. Yeah, it makes sense. Perfect. What about everyone else? Does this make sense to you guys? Because I feel like a lot of you guys try to play options, you know, the alerts to like try to maximize the value while holding. But like I feel like a lot of you get scared holding positions open for too long. This is the methodology I use to like maximize the value. I look at the levels, I look at the chart, I look at where I would feel uncomfortable based on what I feel like would be a point where like we might start seeing a retracement on a chart, right? So I kind of like chart it out, and then I just set up a stop loss where I feel like I'm confident out, and then whichever one reaches that level or price action first, it's just gonna sell my contracts. Whether it's me personally selling it because we reached that level, or it's because the stop loss activated. That's the idea behind me buying $1 out the money or so. $1, $2 out the money. my 503s closed out profitable. And then my 506s and my 505s I had to close out earlier because, again, data was eating the crap out of them. By the time we had this little dip right here, it was red again. Then it went up again and it actually jumped over, I believe it was like 20% green. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm not going to take a lot of risk with that. I already have my 503s and I'm going to play with those. Yeah, man, the alert was there, brother. I don't know if you played it. We had it real good. Look at that. This is why I'm telling you guys. This is why I always kind of like stress upon you guys. Like, when the trades are good, do not rush out to sell. Which is like the biggest battle I have with most of my members. When the trades play in your favor, do not rush to cap your potential. Because those can pay out like crazy. If you have good risk assessment or good risk management, you know, you have calls like that and you'll make $100% gainers here and there all the time. Easy. So that's how I sort of like go about my trades. Alright, so we seem to be now heading in a pretty shitty direction. Fuck my life. Alright. It's important to note though that we have a lot of consolidation right here. If we start breaking over 502, I'm gonna scalp calls, even though that's probably gonna take me. It's kind of driving a loss. Consider scalping calls real quick. I did not get on the last one. Okay. I've been going to the computer a little bit later than usual because I feel like I get chopped up in the mornings. Yeah, don't do that. I feel like a lot of people have the habit of sort of like perceiving a certain type of trend that will where they'll see, like, you know, in the mornings it'll be a little bit choppy. At 12 it'll be stable. At 2-3 p.m. it's gonna run. You know, we'll see that volatility. We're gonna see that strong price action. And then they sort of, with those assumptions, they start making habits on their day trades that are assuming those biases are correct when it's not. Sometimes the market's gonna be very choppy in the morning. However, you cannot use that as a sort of like emblematic perception of how the market is all the time. You cannot assume that the market is going to be like that, because you know, that's going to happen for a little while, and then it's going to change, and then you'll start seeing choppiness in the afternoon, and then in the mornings you'll start seeing smooth plays. You know what I mean? You don't want to bias yourself into thinking that the market's going to behave a certain way at a certain time of the day, because that's not true. The market is very random at that. Nobody can predict that. Not you, not the computers, not the algos, not Wall Street. Nobody can predict how the market's going to behave at any certain time and point. As such, you have to come in every single day with a fresh mindset. You know, it's like, how is the market going to be today? How can I capitalize on it? What am I looking at in the morning? What kind of catalysts are happening today? That is sort of the angle that you have to approach, the disposition that you have to have in your mindset when you're coming into trade. You cannot come in thinking, okay, like, today's going to be choppy, today's going to be this, today's going to be that, because at that point you're kind of setting yourself to think in a certain way about the possibilities of you taking certain trades, you know, and you kind of like limiting yourself to certain outlooks that might happen. You don't want to do that. You want to be open-minded to everything because you never know what's going to happen. We've had days where like the market's trading literally like this. Choppy, 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 right? And then boom. Last 2 hours of the day. We get that. Or we get it where like the market's like this. And then boom. The rest of the day it's just sitting sideways. We get it where like, you know, the market's steady and then it just blows up like that, or it's like steady and just goes sideways. And you never know what you're gonna get. So do not ever go into trading in the into a trade, into any day, to be honest, with the assumption that the market is going to behave a certain way because the previous day or the previous 2, 3, 4 days have been choppy or neutral or like very volatile. On the other hand, don't do that. Just go into the market fresh. What's happening today? We're going to deal with that and just let it be that. Do not bias yourself into making assumptions that might cap your potential to like make money. I am starving, bro. Those puts are kind of like getting risky to hold. I'm probably going to sell them out, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to close my puts. I am out. I am out of puts. I'm not risking that. Yeah, I gotta get something to eat. This thing is kind of boring me out. Again. Let's see if we can actually get an opening here. We can actually start breaking over this. That would actually be very bullish. Alright, I'm gonna cut this stream right here because I gotta get something to eat because I am getting dizzy. It's been a while since I ate. So yeah, I'm just gonna be updating you guys on my Discord as usual. Make sure you guys are keeping up with everything I'm talking about in the options alert channel, and thank you all so much for joining my stream. I hope to see you guys in the next one. I know it's been a while since I live stream. I think it's been like 2 weeks now. Yeah, I am not that consistent when it comes to live streaming, but I'll try to be more. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.